Hey everybody, this is Sheila coming to you from Strategies for Success. And this is something I want to try this week, and hopefully maybe we can keep it ongoing. But I want to meet every day, just give you a little break. You can listen to my little mini podcast. It's not going to be a whole hour like I normally do, but it is just going to be quick 5, 10 minute little conversation that we can have about business oriented things. So for those of you who don't know me, I am a certified small business consultant. I work mainly in the framing and art industry, but I deal with any retail type business. I have experience from since before fax machines were invented, doing that. So I'm here to offer my services, do coaching, help educate folks about basic business principles, and help you build your business. That's my main goal. So I'm here to be your coach and your consultant and just to help out. And I want other businesses, especially small businesses, to be successful. Your success is my success. And there's nothing more rewarding for me than to get a call back from a client and say, the first time I've been in the black in years. So I feel very rewarding and I'm very passionate about what I do. So I thought we'd just have a little meet and greet in the morning and talk, get your mind focused on business things, just as exciting as it sounds. And we'll talk about some different topics. So I belong and read all kinds of different business platforms on social media, on Reddit, um, business articles, trade magazines. I spend a good couple hours every day just going through business stuff. And I do that so you don't have to, because it's a lot, believe me, and trying to sort through it all. And it also gives me good ideas of things that I can do as far as content and creating content. And sometimes there's common themes that run through different posts. Like right now, a lot of folks are concerned about tariffs and about the lack of extra income that folks are having because there's been a lot of layoffs and things like that. So I talk about those things. I write about them in my columns and I write about it online. You can find those blogs on my website and on I'll post links in the comments to my website, and you can see the things I write. And I try and write about business oriented things and especially how they affect the art and framing industry. So the art and framing industry is my focus. So let's sit and just have a nice little conversation. Take a break, sit down, your feet up, or maybe you're working on something right now. I used to listen to podcasts when I had my frame shop, when I was doing like needlework and stuff and had a bunch of penny to do. I'd listen to a book on tape or listen to some kind of podcast just to keep myself entertained. And it was it's sort of a monotonous, sort of Zen type thing. So yeah, just take a break. You deserve it. So it's Monday. How's everybody doing? What are your goals for this week? What do you hope to accomplish? So maybe those are some things to focus on. I like to start out the week with a plan. And sometimes that plan goes out the door at 9:05, but at least we had a plan to start out with. So let's talk a little bit about a few things. And this is something that I encountered this morning, and it kind of rung some bells and got me a little bit fired up. So I want to talk about it's a common thing, more common than what you would think. And as a small business consultant, you know what? It just makes me mad. So I encountered this post in a social media platform that I want to, and believe me, I belong to dozens of platforms, all different aspects of business, small business, networking groups, various things. So I do that so you don't have to. But I want to stay up on top of what small businesses are struggling with right now and see how I can help. So this was an boy, trying to say that 10 times fast, an anonymous post in a business networking group. It is faith-based, so it's more of a Christian type group. And unfortunately, one of the reasons why I do follow on this page is because, especially in Christian or faith-based groups, there are a lot of sharks in the waters, and there's also a lot of naivete on the opposite side. People have good hearts, they're trusting, and unfortunately, that makes you fodder for the scammers out there. And when you have a good heart and you're an honest person, it's hard to imagine someone is going to take advantage of you. But unfortunately, there's some really bad eggs out there. And there's a lot of good people too. And as a business person, you have a responsibility to do your due diligence for any kind of business coach or advice or programs or equipment or whatever to make sure that that really is a good return on your investment or ROI. So, talk about a little bit. I'm going to read some of the post and I'll paraphrase some of it too. Again, this is an anonymous post, so I have no idea who this person is, where they're at. But yeah, they had a pretty bad experience. So she says, and this I know, I'm assuming it's a she because this is a women's group. And she said, I just had a coaching call tonight. It left me shaking. I have a past history with abusive men and trauma. So automatically, poor thing, I feel really bad for her. She said, I was excited to learn how to grow my business, create online courses after years of trying to make it on my own, etc. So I booked a one-on-one call after watching this webinar. So the man who did the webinar, a highly successful business owner, according to him, on the other end of the Zoom call sat emotionless, no smile, or expression, red eyes, and he had his head leaning on his hand, like this. So I imagine this is just my imagination. That's what he looked like. Not very good. So she says, she goes on to say, within the first 5 minutes, he told me that he already has so much money, he didn't even need to take my call. And then she goes on to say, he also told her, well, if you don't want to work with me, we can just hang up right now. It's not like I need the money. Wow. Hey, guess what? Business coach. I got some in my pocket here for you. Wait, what is it? Oh, there it is. It's right between these two fingers. You're a jerk. So, of course, this poor girl was taken aback and she said, I was just there to learn about the program. I wasn't planning on being manipulated and belittled. Extra bonus from this tool. And so he asked if she had any questions. So she's like, okay, yeah, let's get to the point. How much is this all going to cost me? Guess how much? Yes. Go higher. You need to go higher. $20,000. $20,000. Holy moly. Wow. I am way undercharging for my services. I know what I'm doing. Wow. So this poor girl goes on to say, as much as I understand investments, I was not prepared to sign a contract to pay him $20,000 on his very first call. Yeah, no kidding. And dude, you're working with small businesses. There are very few small businesses that have an extra 20,000 laying around to just throw at some online influencer, bro, whatever. So he immediately began asking, why are you being weird about asking about the contract? She's like, I didn't. She says, nowhere is it mentioned the signed contract is expected on a free code. And I said, well, I don't think it's weird. Ask about everything involved. So yeah, she's doing her due diligence. And he said, who are you to tell me how to run my business? How much money have you made during this course? You are in no position to tell me how to do things. You know what? I don't think I want someone like you and your negative energy on my team. You're being rude. What? So she said, hey, look, all I did was ask a simple question about the contract. Try to tell you what you do. And to her for staying on this call because I would have hung up 5 minutes ago. But he took that and further escalated and said, well, you came to me for help. Do you want my help or no? I said, well, he said, of course, but I don't want to waste your time because I can't afford to pay $20,000. And she was just stunned. And then he was like, well, then just say you can't afford it rather than blame the program. Like, I didn't blame the program. I'm just trying to remain calm and professional. And he says, this is not a good fit. And when he said that, this is not a good fit, she kind of rolled her eyes a little bit. And you're like, yeah, no kidding. I don't like you. You're mean. And when she did that, he said, don't roll your eyes at me. We're done. And hangs up. Oh my goodness, what a tool. And then she asks, has anyone else experienced anything like this? And the poor little thing, my heart, whoever you are, I don't know if you're watching or not, because it's an anonymous post on a kind of obscure platform. But bless you, little sweet girl. I wish I could give you a hug right now, virtually. Wow, who does that? So let me get a few things clear here. First of all, in the business world, there are a lot of bros. Um, and as women, and again, let me also clarify and put a caveat in there. I love men. I have no hate towards men, wonderful men in my life, um, brothers and uncles and nephews and nieces. I love men. And I've had a lot of really wonderful men, amazing bosses and amazing mentors in my life. But there's an energy, especially among maybe millennials, younger, or even there's even some older guys that do it, but they have this big, blue, powerful incel energy. And as women, we all encounter some misogyny. And being that this was a Christian platform, I got some really good advice from my my pastor one time who said, Jesus died for the boneheads too. So whenever I deal with someone who's difficult or whatever, that's my little mantra. Take it or leave it. Again, not trying to preach to anybody, whatever higher power you believe in, or if you don't believe in anything, we're cool. My job is to love everybody. But that's my little thing I say to myself. It's like Jesus died for the boneheads too. Jesus died for the boneheads too. So obviously this guy is a scammer and is probably trying to promote some MLM or course making outlandish promises. And thank goodness that this lady was smart enough to ask up front, what's this going to cost me before they reel her in. And I think she dodged a bullet. But beware, beware, my brothers and sisters. Um, Again, I am a certified small business consultant. What does that mean? That means that I am certified through an international small business consulting company. I had to read books. I had to take courses. I had to take tests and pass them. And it took me months to do this. So it wasn't an easy thing. And that's on top of my experience as being, business owner and being in business. I took business courses in university and all the things, but you can always learn more. You never stop learning. And so anybody who's telling you that they're a one size fits all program is going to be that formula for success. You're going to make, $1 million overnight. Anyone who says that is trying to sell you something that isn't real, and they're a liar, and they're a cheater, and they're a scammer. So now, of course, there are basic business principles that every entrepreneur should know. Things like how to read and analyze your financial statements, your P&Ls, how to manage your team effectively, how to control your inventory, how to market. All those things are important for business owners to know. And there are some universal things in there. It's math, a lot of it. So in those cases, yeah, one formula kind of tells you where you're at. can help take the temperature of your business and see how successful you are. And we're always improving. So those things I can always teach you. But again, anybody trying to sell you some type of cookie cutter, one size fits all thing, they're they're not can't be. It can't be that way because every business is different. You have different demographics, your location, your break-even point. Every owner has strengths and they have weaknesses. And in that way, like I said, every business is kind of a unicorn. So what I do in my consulting practice, I spend time with my clients personally. We go over what's working, what's not. We assess the overall health of the company and we set goals together. So if you're lacking in some basic business skills, no shame. We listen and we don't judge. I'll give you some training and show you and empower you how to have those business skills and know what you're doing. But like I said, not everybody has everything. And there may be some things that you're just not good at. So if math is not your thing, let's hire an accountant, throw money at that problem and make it go away. They can help you and do the analysis for you. If you're not good at marketing, you can have pay somebody to do your social media for you and all the online ads and SEO optimizations and all those things. If you're not good at it or you don't want to do it, you can pay somebody to do it. So not everybody's good at everything, but I want to, when I do an assessment, and a initial consultation, I want to know what are your strengths, and let's build on those because they're great. Like I said, not everybody has everything. I don't know one person in this world that has all the attributes that make a perfect business person. It's not possible. We're human beings. So it's not easy. And unfortunately, on this platform, because it was this platform that I was on, was lurking, all of a sudden there's like 130 some comments as of this morning that popped up, and a lot of them were selling. Oh no, that guy is wrong. Buy my book instead. And the books are like how to make $100,000 in 90 days. Really? Really? Okay. Maybe, but probably not. Anybody who's trying to tell you there's a get rich quick and super easy, don't believe them because you know better. It takes a lot of hard work. When you build your business, yes. What I focus on in my practice is helping people have measurable and sustainable growth. We want to grow. Yeah, we want to grow as quick as possible sometimes, but growing too quickly, that brings on a whole other slew of problems. So sustainable growth, a good business plan, and those goals change over time and over the years. So those are the types of things that I try and do. I hope this poor lady can find a better mentor who could teach her how to build her business better. Now, going back to the scammers, I spend part of my year in Las Vegas. I want to spend my time between Las Vegas and Alaska. And holy moly, I know there are people there and they've done these articles and exposés on them. So they'll be like, yeah, we're a super successful. Unfortunately, they usually try and put in their religion in there. We're a Christian-based family. And they're not Christian because they're trying to rip people off. That's not something Jesus taught. At least it's not what I learned in Sunday school. So they go and rent some big mansion for a day, and then they go out and rent a Maserati or a Bugatti or whatever. And hey, look at all my cool motorcycles. Look at all my cool cars. They go and buy expensive clothes and then return them the next day. And they're trying to have this outward appearance of success and opulence. And it's all a big fat lie. And don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Just because somebody puts Christian in their name doesn't mean they're necessarily a good person. Doesn't mean they're a bad person either. But do your due diligence when you're hiring coaches. And if anybody's trying to sell you, you know, a course or something like that, yeah, be a little skeptical about what they're doing. Because, like I said, if they're trying to sell you this one size fits all, you're going to get rich overnight. If you buy my program or if you buy my book, yeah, here's how you get rich. Write a book, put it online, have people buy it. Woohoo, you're rich. It's a scam. So you're too smart. Don't fall for that. So coming, and sorry, I have it on my nose. I'm trying to be gross. I am planning on doing some business courses. I'm working on a curriculum to do kind of an online business framing university. I'm not sure what to call it yet, but it'll be better than that. And I want people to be successful and understand business principles. One of the things I've found in meeting with clients and over the years, working with framers from all over the world is that we're really good at what we do at a craftsmanship and we put care and love into every frame that we send out. But on the business side, that's the hard part. And a lot of us need to do better. And myself included, I fell in that trap and I know better. I have a lot of business experience and I've done it. So that's what I'm kind of aiming for. We'll have more news on that later. So thank you for joining me today on our little coffee talk, a little chat. I hope that's trademarked. But I do want to offer my services. If you have questions, put them in the comments. There's things you'd like to talk about as far as business in the framing industry. Hey, I'm all game. I'd love to talk about it. So thanks for joining me today. When I talk to my clients, um, normally I give them their money's worth. We're on the clock for the first hour, but after we finish our session, maybe for 5 or 10 minutes afterwards, I do like to just talk about framing and the art world and life and things like that because um, when I had my shop, I would come home to my family at dinner time and be like, "Oh wow, what did you do today? I have this really cool new molding in. It's really awesome, so pretty." And we could see the kids, their eyes just glaze over and just be like, "Oh, make her stop talking about framing. Stop. It's so boring." So I like talking to other framers because we know how cool it is. And it's not boring, it's awesome, but if you're not a framer, it is kind of boring. So I love talking about business stuff. So if there's things you want to talk about, let me know in the comments. I'd love it if you'd like and subscribe to my channel. It just helps me do better. And it's, I'm just starting out doing this, kind of making it up as I go along. So I hope it's been helpful. So beware the scammers, and we will match you tomorrow with a new topic. And hope you have a good day. Okay, and I wanted to say this. It's Monday. So, Mondays can be kind of overwhelming. You are doing a really good job. Give yourself a pat on the back. You're here, you're at work, and I'm sure you're exhausted. So, set some goals. What are you going to do this week? How are you going to do something, just one thing? What are you going to do to make your business a little better this week? What can you improve on? Maybe get more sales, maybe focus on marketing a little bit more. Maybe you're going to streamline your operations and not fall behind or get caught up. So whatever those things are, you can do it. And again, you're doing a good job. And we're really, really proud of you. So we'll talk again tomorrow. I hope you'll come back. And this is Sheila from Strategies for Success, signing off.